Welcome to Please Me, the podcast bringing you bold conversations and big clit energy. Sí, Please Me ahora tiene subtítulos en español. And welcome to my Friday bonus episode series. I'm Eve, your host, on a journey from trauma to sexual liberation. Let's reclaim pleasure and close the orgasm gap, one empowering conversation at a time. Today, we're revisiting an insightful, never-before-published interview recorded at PodFest with Colette Fahr. In this episode, I share valuable information about the conditions I treat in my pelvic floor physical therapy practice with a strong focus on sexual health, intimacy, and holistic healing. Colette is also a podcast host of the show Insights from the Couch. If topics like pain during sex, pelvic dysfunction, erectile dysfunction, or sexual wellness resonate with you, I'd love to hear from you. Visit pleaseme.online and let me know how this conversation connects with your journey. I'm here to help. Did you know that podcasts rely on listener support to keep bringing you the content you love? For the best way to support the show, join me on Patreon for ad-free listening, early releases, bonus episodes, and exclusive content. Or go to Substack and subscribe to my newsletter for more Please Me related news. Got a burning question or want a 10-minute consultation with me? Download the OWL app and give me a call. Check the show notes for my code and claim your free 10-minute consultation today. Please Me is for mature audiences. Sit back, relax, and surrender to the pleasure of Please Me.
It's so fortuitous that we met, and this is a nice thing I'm finding about PodFest, right? We just randomly met at the door. We have so much crossover, and we have a really aligned mission of just bringing total wellness and well-being to women's lives.
ASN Lifestyle Magazine is your go-to source for sex-positive, sophisticated content covering everything from the swinger lifestyle and adult entertainment to intimacy, wellness, and more. You can read every digital issue for free, and subscribers get access to exclusive content. See the show notes for the link to subscribe and check out their Instagram. I'm excited to share that I now have a monthly column in ASN called Big Clit Energy, a Please Me series. Don't miss it and subscribe today.
This episode is brought to you by LifeLock. When you visit the doctor, you probably hand over your insurance, your ID, and contact details. It's just one of the many places that has your personal info. And if any of them accidentally expose it, you could be at risk for identity theft. LifeLock monitors millions of data points a second. If you become a victim, they'll fix it, guaranteed, or your money back. Save up to 40% your first year at lifelock.com/podcast. Terms apply.
This podcast is supported by Progressive, a leader in RV insurance. RVs are for sharing adventures with family, friends, and even your pets. So if you bring your cats and dogs along for the ride, you'll want Progressive RV insurance. They protect your cats and dogs like family by offering up to $1,000 in optional coverage for vet bills in case of an RV accident, making it a great companion for the responsible pet owner who loves to travel. See Progressive's other benefits and more when you quote RV insurance at Progressive.com today. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates. Pet injuries and additional coverage and subject to policy terms.
Honey Bunches of Oats es la forma perfecta de empezar el día con tu familia. Con hojuelas crujientes y miel de verdad que a los niños les encanta. Además, deliciosos trozos de granola, nueces y fruta que todos van a disfrutar. Honey Bunches of Oats es para todos. Toca el banner para saber más.
So I'm sitting here with my new friend, Eve, and we're going to talk a little bit about our podcast. We're here at PodFest, and this is my first time. Is it yours?
Actually, I came last year for the first time.
Okay.
And this is actually my second time at PodFest. I'm super excited. And my foot is getting a cramp right now as we speak. So excuse me
the worst.
if I'm suddenly
Pressing your foot on the ground.
Yes,
if you have to walk, go for it.
I'm doing the exercise. I'm doing the stretch. So
I
how
get
are
this
you?
all the time. I'm
Yeah,
good.
it doesn't happen to me that often, but it just suddenly did. I think I'm dehydrated. I need to go get some water.
Yes, I am too. This has been an action-packed day. I've learned a lot already. This is my first time here.
Okay.
And my podcast is Insights from the Couch, Mental Health at Midlife. I co-host with another therapist, Laura Bowman, who just left. And we're so excited because we really are on a mission to reach women at midlife who want to make this the best phase of life yet, and covering all the phases that we go through, all the different components of life, our mental health, our physical health, our sex lives, menopause, perimenopause, career, really kind of everything from reinvention to just total wellness. So we're here to learn what we can about how to reach a wider audience and keep growing.
Amazing. That's so great. Yeah, we have a lot of overlap in our podcast, actually. My podcast is called Please Me, and it aims to destigmatize conversations about sex and sexual health.
Love it.
A lot of what we talk about often is menopause, perimenopause, postmenopause, that whole umbrella, and how that affects our sex lives. We talk a lot about hormones. We talk a lot about that time of our lives. And when you think about menopause, it's 1/3 of our life, that women will be spending in that time of their life. So it is so essential to try and make it the best that it can be. So I love the premise of your podcast. Good luck with that. Yeah, and I'd like to know, what else you like to talk about on your show. Tell me some details about some of, your favorite episodes.
Yeah, so we just did an episode for season 3 called The Catalyst on what really creates lasting change. Because we all know we make those resolutions January 1st, and then quitting day is January 13th. So we're already past it.
Wow.
The gyms are empty, and I haven't been to the gym myself. I'm doing the tiny habit formula of 5 minutes a day on my Peloton treadmill I have not used in a long time.
Okay.
So I talked about that on the episode, but it was one of my favorites because Laura and I really talked about the science of habit formation, setting yourself up for success with good systems that support you and what you want in life. We shared a lot of our own personal stories and struggles. I talked about, believe it or not, my battle with quitting smoking many years ago, but I was a diehard cigarette smoker from childhood past college. And so we got to really dive into our personal struggles. And I love having guests on, but I really enjoy also the episodes where it's just Laura and I talking as therapists, but also as good friends and as women who are going through this phase of life ourselves. I'm 51, Laura's 47. I'm in a second marriage and blended family, and she's married to her college sweetheart. She works with individual women and I work with couples. So we bring a nice difference. She's an introvert and I'm an extrovert, and we're really good friends as well as colleagues. So it's really fun to do the show with her. And I love those episodes when it's just the two of us.
Yeah, because you already have that built-in chemistry, right? It's always nice to have a guest on where you just have that chemistry instantaneously. Yes. Actually, my last show with Rita Arnold, she created a group called We the Aunties, and she was just, it was instant chemistry with the two of us. It was really a lot of fun. So
what's We the Aunties?
BTW, FYI. Visit Nexplanon.com RN to learn about Nexplanon. It's an adjustable implant, 68 milligrams radio pain. Or ask your HCP IRL. Okay, TTYL.
My name is Lily, and I've had hidradenitis suppurativa, HS, for years. I finally found some relief since taking Cosentyx. Relief means I can show up more.
Cosentyx secukinumab is prescribed for adults with moderate to severe hidradenitis suppurativa, HS. Don't use if you're allergic to Cosentyx. Before starting, get checked for tuberculosis. An increased risk of infections and lowered ability to fight them may occur, like tuberculosis or other serious bacterial, fungal, or viral infections. Some are fatal. Tell your doctor if you have an infection or symptoms like fevers, sweats, chills, muscle aches, or cough, had a vaccine or plan to, or if inflammatory bowel disease symptoms develop or worsen. Serious allergic reactions and severe eczema-like skin reactions may occur. Learn more at 1-844-COSENTYX or Cosentyx.com.
Ask your dermatologist about Cosentyx.
So We the Aunties is it's a collaborative of women that help each other through what she calls the magical merry-go-round of menopause. And so she does a lot of education around that. She does groups. She does moo-moo parties, which I think is hilarious.
That is hilarious.
I wore a moo-moo to that show, which was really fun. And yeah, it's just meeting women, supporting women, other business owners. That's what it's really all about. And I just love to connect with other amazing women. And know you would be a perfect guest on my show because I talk lots about sex and sex therapy. I've had multiple sex therapists on the show, so we would definitely need to connect again.
Yes, I would love that. It's so fortuitous that we met. And this is a nice thing I'm finding about PodFest, right? We just randomly met at the door. We have so much crossover, and we have a really aligned mission of just bringing total wellness and well-being to women's lives.
Absolutely.
So,
as a physical therapist, that is exactly exactly what I do, but in a very physical way. So you're talking more about like the emotional connection with couples. I'm really honing in on like the physical aspects of sexual dysfunction, like erectile dysfunction for men or decreased vaginal sensitivity and dryness for women. Those are things that I treat in my practice.
Really?
Painful sex.
Anya.
Yes.
Yeah.
Incontinence, which is not a sexy sexual health condition,
But it's a big thing.
but it's an absolute sexual health condition because it obviously affects your sexual health. You don't want to pee on your partner unless, you're into that.
Oh, hell no.
Which is another episode.
Not for me. Exactly. Okay. I would love to have you as a guest on our show as well.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I think that's so important. And just those things you mentioned, so many people are dealing with and really don't know what to do or who to turn to for help, or even how common it is. Are there practical solutions we can do on our own? So
100%.
I think it's really important to talk about. And erectile dysfunction gets so much attention, but our dry vaginas are left out in the cold.
And it's literally the exact same condition because both conditions are caused by a lack of blood flow. And there is a treatment that's the gold standard treatment for those two conditions called acoustic wave therapy. And I do that treatment in my practice. So it helps the blood flow to the area. And for women, which is our wheelhouse, right?
Yeah.
So women, when they don't get enough blood flow, the vaginal tissue becomes dry. But if you increase the blood flow, what happens is the plasma from the blood seeps through the walls of the vagina and the vaginal tissue. And that's what makes that wet.
Even after menopause, when the hormonal shift, because this is the primary thing. In fact, my last session yesterday was about how painful sex is now that lubrication is not really helping. And these are people who are past the menopause years even, but it's really affecting the relationship. And I've never even heard of the acoustic. I don't even remember.
Therapy.
Thank you.
Yes. And a lot of times painful sex is also caused by a lack of estrogen.
Yeah.
Because when you don't have enough estrogen is like a link in your fence, right?
Yeah.
If the fence is your skin. And so if you're missing like links of the fence or the estrogen receptors and you don't have the estrogen there, your tissue is going to be very thin and very dry.
Yeah, and
right?
this is why the hormone replacement is so important.
Exactly.
And has been so misunderstood.
Exactly.
I just went to Dr. Vonda Wright's menopause conference. Did you attend that by any chance?
No, I didn't.
You should next year. It was so good, and it's all right in your wheelhouse, and it was really interesting. So I learned a lot, as I'm not in menopause yet, but it's coming any minute. So I want to be as prepared as possible.
Something that I just recently learned actually from Davida is that Caucasian women will be in menopause from, I believe she said 4 to 6 years. Latina women from 6 to 8.
Okay.
And Black women for up to 10 years.
Jesus.
So there is a huge difference between the different categories. Of,
like from perimenopause to menopause.
Exactly, because it's really a continuum. It's not, it's all one thing, but it's a continuum. Peri, menopause, and post just all flows into the next.
Yeah.
And so if you're dealing with it and you're learning how to take care of yourself during that time, you can really have the best sex life of your life.
Yeah. Oh, amen to that. I think that's the perfect note to end on.
Yes. High five for that one.
I'm so glad to meet you too, and look forward to doing more on our podcast together.
Sounds good. And that's where we'll wrap this episode for now. Stay tuned in Season 6 as Colette Fahr returns to explore how mental health impacts pleasure, love, and connection. If you enjoyed this episode, be sure to share it, hit follow, or subscribe, and visit pleaseme.online for a wealth of sex-positive educational content on intimacy, pleasure, and sexual wellness. If you're curious about intimacy coaching, sexual health support, or want to explore pleasure-centered living, reach out. I'm here to help. For a free 10-minute consultation, download the OWL app and use code EH576472 to get your questions answered directly. And don't forget to leave a review. It's one of the best ways to help this sex-positive podcast grow. Thank you so much for your support. For ad-free listening, exclusive bonus episodes, Eve's library of archived webinars, and early access to new releases of Please Me, become a monthly supporter on Patreon. Simply open the Patreon app on your phone, search for Please Me, and subscribe today for premium content and more. Cheers to finding your pleasure and Big Clit Energy.